back to the Bleav in Our State podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Carter.
And I'm your host, Cody Van Ciello.
Cody, today is our mailbag episode. Obviously, we really didn't get that many questions. Obviously, the people that did contribute, thank you guys so much for contributing your questions. So the first question that we're gonna go to is our probably I'll say our number one fan, Meet Campbell, Meet Campbell. I realized that he's our biggest fan. So thank you
Yep.
guys, thank you, man. So the first question that he had, well, two questions. This is a two-part question. He asked, "Do you prefer the Purdy style uniforms or the newest uniforms?" And then the second part of the question, "Do you think that we will have different main helmets this year, or the I State ones, or the Cardinal I State ones?"
Hmm. Um, I'm trying to considering taking to try to take kind of nostalgia out of it because my main college years were with the Purdy era uniforms. I think I did appreciate the fact that for the black and white uniforms there are at least some silver, so there was some undertones with that one. Meanwhile,
Mm-hmm.
with the black uniforms now, it's just plain black and white, like I'm staring at Oreos. So I think certain uniforms were better in the Purdy era than they were in the current uniform era, and then vice versa. But I think I'm gonna lean towards these uniforms because I think the current ones because I think the way maybe it's just me being a little more corporate, but I kind of lean to that right now. But this could easily change. It depends on the day I'm in. But I think now I'm trying to recall everything. Those Purdy style uniforms low key were hitting, but I think I do like the imitation of the new uniforms because I like the white with the especially the road uniforms. And
Yes.
now we're using the script cyclones on the helmets. Beautiful. And I might as well answer the second part as well. With the helmets, I think I would love for Iowa State to lead into something like what Oklahoma State does with their rotation of helmets. I mean, have you seen the amount of helmets that the Oklahoma State team has used for?
Yes. So like, I want to get into this for a second because you can use so many different logos. Because, sorry, excuse me. You could use the script cyclones. You could use the I State logo. You could use Twirly Bird, as I like to call him, or Sinado, whatever you want to call it. And then you can use Jack Trice. But I want to see Walking Sai. Like, I want to see the Walking Sai on the helmet, dude, because that would be so cool. That's my favorite. That's my favorite iteration. Obviously, you see, I'm wearing the Walking Sai
Mhm.
crew neck. Like, that I wear mostly all the time on the show. But like that having an iteration, I think I agree with Coach Meat Campbell. Like, I think having a different iteration of the helmets would be have an interesting mix. Um, for me, I guess for me to answer this question, the two-part question, the first part, um, I would say um I'd say I actually like the pretty ones more. Um, the pretty ones mainly because of that one game. What game was it where they did all red with black helmets? Not
Oh wait.
yeah,
Oh wait. Was it with the chrome?
yes.
Hold on. All
Like,
red uniform.
I'm trying to think what game that was, but like, I was like, man, I really like that mix up. I don't know who it was against, or was that
That was like
uh
2018, bro.
Rocco? Or was that Rocco when they did all red and black helmet? I thought Purdy and them did it, but
Oh, I think it might have been. I think it was I was I knew they did it against Texas last year. Um,
yeah, in
let me see.
2023, yeah.
Yeah. And that's I think when I saw the let me see the uniform. Come on.
But I know they did it with Purdy. I'm trying to think which game that was though.
Yeah.
But I know they did it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you just try to figure out which game they did it, but I mean, oh god. I'm trying to think of but yeah, those two games where we had the all red uniforms with the black helmet, especially the
Yeah.
chrome. That was
No,
a
yeah,
that's a
yeah,
good.
bro. And now if I can incorporate, and then now if they can incorporate that, man, especially with them New Jerseys, man,
I mean, why not mess around with like different combinations? Like you just do it in, like you can do it like in your practices or something. Like I think that's just gonna be really nice. So I'm trying to think of like what combinations could you possibly go for here. What's like a new combination that you would love to see Iowa State do with their uniforms now that we have like a
hmm.
pretty expansive.
Now okay, this is going, this might be crazy, and this might like piss some people off. But what if you did another combination of the black jersey,
Mhm.
but you did it, you outline everything in cardinal and gold?
That's what I've been asking for. That's
Like
been the
that's
one
what
thing.
I want. And
Mhm.
you can do red pants with that. You can do all still do all black with that. And you can, and let's say you can still you can, let's say you can make the helmet black with script cyclones in cardinal and gold. You can do any of you can do the I state and cardinal and gold. Like there's so many different combinations that I want to see, but that's the one I want to see. If they incorporate the school colors with black, I think people more people will be on board. Even though it don't really matter, I like the black jersey regardless. But if they were to incorporate that, man, whoo wee, that will make me want to buy a jersey. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well,
So
this is
yeah,
the same
something like
especially
yeah,
too. Yeah,
yes,
the Niners have done something like this, and I mean, this was like when I first like I could see this being a realistic thing for Iowa State.
yeah,
Like you can have like the black jerseys with like a red like with red numbers and nameplates, and then maybe even like the gold like Nike logo here. The
yep,
helmets, I mean, if you could possibly do a helmet. Like I think you can find a way to do a helmet. Like if you take like maybe the yeah, I'm trying to see if you can do it with like the gold that we use. I think it might have to be a different shade, but I mean, if not, then you could just go with like I don't know, a white helmet or something,
yeah,
or something. Or let me see, because I have a friend who is a Arizona Cardinals fan, and I remember
yeah.
their color rush, and this is what they had.
Yeah, and even something, yeah, even something like that. You could have the white helmet with red, with just all with fully red I state logo, or fully red script cyclones, which is probably what they're gonna do. Like they're gonna, I'm telling you, they're probably going to they're gonna add another like retro logo this year. I don't know which one it's gonna be, but they're gonna add one. I really hope it's either Side NATO or Walk. It's probably, I have a feeling it's probably gonna be a Walking Side before we see Side NATO.
Yeah,
But like, I'd love to see Walking
yeah.
Side.
I mean, I've had both walking side and side NATO merch, and I just prefer walking side. I don't know what it is. It's the simplicity. Like I think like how it works. It just the side walking side just works on just about anything. You could put it
Right.
on anything and it would work. I think as well as logos like it's perfect and like it's got that great balance of like you could put it on something modern and nobody would notice. Like
Exactly.
it was a retro like it aged well. I think that's what it is. I think
It definitely aged well. Like Side NATO is really is if it like, let's say you get like an Iowa State starter jacket. Side NATO is very 90s. Like,
yeah,
but
like the one
like, yeah.
Halliburton had on when he visited Ames back in March for the
Yep,
Arizona basketball
and
game.
that one T-shirt that Brees Hall had when he was working out, like that's dope. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, and then like and then Coach Mick Campbell also said the same thing for basketball unis. What was that? What we'll expect next season's updates to look like as they're due for a change according to the Nike deal.
Hmm.
This is a very good question right here. Um, yeah, I mean, I sort of expect it to be the same. All I know is that we need to get rid of those all black jerseys. I do not.
Oh,
I don't really care for those in basketball. I don't
yeah,
know.
me too. I've realized like wait, what? I didn't even I forgot we even had those now. It's like I think they try to like lean into the football, but I feel like that's something that like it's not needed because I think it was kind of like you
Yes,
try to manufacture that. It doesn't hit the same.
it's
Now,
no, it doesn't.
yeah, I think if they were to do like I think the simple like having like the white jerseys, which I really love, the red jerseys are nice,
Yeah,
and then the golds have been an upgrade. I think the golds are have been okay, as I've always thought, but like they got an upgrade this year over last year's, the last few years with the Halliburton era, golds. Yeah, the black jerseys. I mean, eh. I would think if you can incorporate, like you do, like you incorporate more like the red as well and the gold, you could possibly pull it off. But then you would look like Germany. So yeah, just get rid of the black jerseys in basketball.
Yeah,
It works better with certain teams. Like, I mean, what the Chicago Bulls like had like their black pinstripe uh jerseys at one point.
yep, those black pinstripe ones that wore during their championship runs. Like I could, yeah. I mean,
Maybe if
but
maybe Iowa State does something like that, I can be on board.
yeah,
We we have like the yeah we have like yeah when you have like let me just show it.
okay.
I think I could get on board if like they did something like this.
Yeah, see, yes, yeah. Incorporate the cardinal go. Yeah, see, like it, like that's what I'm looking for in the next iteration of jersey updates is incorporating the school colors into the black jerseys.
Unless
Mainly because
yeah,
the old people, so then the old people will stop complaining about the black jerseys.
that's true. Let me see if like the
I get so annoyed.
yeah. Or I wonder if like because of the connection to Wisconsin, I wonder if like they might take inspiration from
For
uh
Milwaukee.
yeah, considering
Mm,
like
maybe.
maybe, but we'll have to see. But on that note, yeah, jerseys like I mean Iowa State fans, I mean, they're gonna be in galore with jerseys. I mean, I already got the Brock Purdy jersey. Now we're
Hmm.
gonna probably have to stock up on the Jalen Noel, Jaden Higgins Texans jerseys. Maybe if I can find a Jalen Travis jersey and a Darren Porter one, that might be added to the collection.
Right,
And then
right.
who else? I'm gonna have to just start doing a giant collection of Cyclone jerseys. So
And then we just have another set of questions from my boy Mysterio54, otherwise known as Disgruntled White Sox fan. Thank you for yes, I know we're both disgruntled because our team sucks. Even though they have more wins at this point than last year, but they still suck. But anyways, there's a basketball question and a football question. I'll have you answer, and then I will. So for basketball, do you anticipate any more transfers? I think we need another big.
I would say no. I think the roster's pretty set. You're basically you're about at the end of the academic year, so I don't expect like any more pieces to come in. Yeah, I think another big would have been like pretty nice. I mean, if I could just find the current roster and like the size that we have,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, let's see, because you're returning Jefferson and then Plata along with Mulder and then there's another big I Bleav that we're gonna have come in as well.
Buchanan.
Yeah, Buchanan. So having those four bigs, I think, nice. And I mean, you could probably shift Milan. I mean, I think the philosophy is Milan is basically a mismatch for anybody that like plays like the three, like 1 to 3, and you could easily put him at the 4 if you wish to do so.
Right, because he has a post up game where he can post up people and
Yeah,
make that fadeaway.
yeah,
So
and he's shown not he can not just do the fadeaway, but also he's shown that he can drive into the paint and get like those points in the paint as well. So I'm
right.
thinking Milan's gonna be a case where like because Milan's like what 6'8", 6'9".
Yep.
He could do just fine. Like he's a mismatch, like just for about anybody on the court 1 through 5. So I think you could probably flex him as a big if you wish to do so if you're TJ.
Right, yeah, flexibility at those positions. Yeah, I'm in agreement with you on this question. Once again, Mysterio54, thank you for um contributing this question. But yeah, I think yeah, if you're gonna have another big, I think yeah, we're done in the portal. I think,
Yeah,
and I believe they also said that we're gonna be done in the portal. So yeah, I don't really see any other moves going in. And then
yeah.
for football, he asked who is the starter at running back? Hanson or Sama? I'm gonna start off with this question and then you go. I think it really depends on what they see when they come back for fall camp.
Mm-hmm.
Because like they're still high on Abu Sama, and I know
Mm-hmm.
Abu Sama got a lot of flack last year. Um, and you know he's still also like learn the position at the college level. But I think if he can learn how to run north and south, I really do think that he can be a really good back in his offense. And with Carson Hansen, like if Carson Hansen takes it by the horns, I think yes he can be the starter because you saw he had double digit touchdowns in less than 1,000 yards. So
Hmm.
like I mean, I mean Carson Hansen has shown that he can be RB1.
Yeah,
Who do I think we're gonna see? I don't know. I don't know if really this really answers your question, but I think we're going to see both of them. So the answer to this question for me is both. What do you
yeah.
think?
I think you're definitely gonna see both. Because because I mean, what like you're just having like it's very nice to have like the running back room that Iowa State has. Like you have two
Yeah,
guys that are very capable of putting up points and getting you big yardage. Obviously, Abu Sama is more of the home run hitter. Like you get him into space and he's pretty difficult to chase down. And then Carson Hansen, I believe, is a little bit bigger than Sama, so he can tank a couple like a hit. So like you can get him like in those like shorter yardage situations, but even he can explode as well. So you are pretty rich. And then you got what Fiora, who saw some action last year. Then
oh
Dylan
yeah.
Lee,
What's his name? Flora.
yeah, Aiden
No,
Flora,
yeah, yep,
and then Dylan Lee. Like that's a solid. Like I think I saw Dylan Lee. He had some solid like play when I saw the spring game last year. So he looked solid. So I'm thinking develops under like Abu and Carson Hansen. It's a pretty nice running back room to have. And yeah, I think maybe like you'll probably like I think it's gonna be matchup based. It's just based on like what
yeah.
what the defense is presenting to Iowa State, and there that's gonna be the decision whether to go with Abu or Carson on a particular down or on a particular series.
And I think that's what college football is. You got to have a good stable of running backs. I think unless you have a a running back that's like Cam Scatterbu, I think you're going to
Yeah,
see a lot of backfields that are going to have two different types of
yeah,
backs and
yeah.
shifts. And I think that's just modern football in general.
Mhm. Like unless you have a running back the likes of Ashton Genty or Saquon
Right,
Barkley,
right.
then you are gonna need like multiple running backs, like just in general, because like running backs like they take a lot of hits. So I mean they're gonna be banged up quite a bit, and you don't want to like run your running backs to the ground. Otherwise, they would turn into a negative for you.
Right, exactly. So thank you everyone who contributed questions. That was a great discussion.
Mhm. Yes, I
Man,
actually looked up the
17 minutes.
yeah, I looked
Golly.
up at the roster and David Mitchell's listed at like 6'6". So like if that's the case, then Xavier Mitchell proves well he can possibly play at the three, and then you could shift Milan to the four.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like this roster is very like flexible. So there's probably gonna be a whole bunch of different combinations that we didn't even think of.
Hmm.
Okay, Cody, we got to talk about this. There is a talk about a commission, a college football commission, with President Donald Trump. We're gonna I'm on. What are we talking about? So there has been a thing in the news, and and here I'll pull up the article and I'll share my screen to
Yeah.
have more of a better explanation about what I'm talking about. 1 second.
Yeah, while you pull that up, I think yeah, I see it here. Ross Dellinger put out an article yesterday. That like the tweet reads, President Donald Trump is making plans to create a presidential commission to study college sports. Source cell Yahoo Sports, a landmark moment in industry history. And he says the commission is
Yes.
charged with finding solutions to the unregulated landscape.
Yep. And then yeah, basically because yeah on this it says according to a report by Yahoo Sports, President Donald Trump is establishing a collegiate sports commission to address some of college sports' most contentious issues, such as frequent player movement in the transfer portal, whether players should have employment status, unregulated booster payments, enforcing Title IX compliance, and preserving Olympic sports. And also, the other person who's going to be a part of this trio is Cody Campbell, who is a founder of the Matador Club, and he is a billionaire for Texas Tech's NIL right now. So
Hmm.
these would be the three guys that would run this college football commission. Um, so with that little synopsis of what we read, and I'm looking through it, um, like basically Campbell says he says that while football players deserve some form of compensation, schools and Power Four conferences in the autonomous four, as he refers to, will over allocate resources to their biggest moneymaker, causing Olympic sports programs to suffer and eliminating the hopes and dreams of those who viewed NCAA sports as an opportunity for a better future. So basically, it basically is sounding like that they're trying to find guardrails to this, because it basically has seemed like it's been the west in college football right now, and just you've heard stories of people leaving after the semester
Hmm.
and still getting their money. So it's a guardrail that definitely needs to be done, and I actually sort of feel better about this it being to than it being the people that know the sport, like with Nick Saban, because Saban commands everyone's respect in college football. Um, and I have rather would have them in charge of this rather than uh
Some like
what was
random
it, Ted
call,
Cruz
yeah,
and
Ted Cruz
Cory
and Cory
Booker,
Booker. Yeah,
who probably aren't really plugged into sports at all. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on this?
yeah. I just saw this yesterday. I'm just like, yeah, it's about time this thing gets regular because boy, things are getting really like feisty when it comes to like NIL. I mean, it's been a controversial topics like for like the past like few years, and now seeing this, I think it's about time that like there actually is some sort of like law of the land when it comes to this, and like it had to come to this. Otherwise, you'd be dealing a world where the you continue to get like a disparity between like the haves and the have-nots. Like say like your
Right,
Alabamas, your Ohio States, your Notre Dames of the world versus say like your Iowa States, your Kansas States,
right.
and etc. And yeah, just the mass difference in NIL, and I mean, there's going to be a continued growing gap until like the whole bubble explodes on herself, and then we would be back to square one.
Right, and I mean, and then it will be back to regional football like it should be. But like, yeah, man, there needs to be guardrails set up. Don't really care where people like stand politically. Really, it's just really more of a sports issue. Like it's just like, man, like we can't not we have to have um like roadblocks set up for this, man, because we don't want to just have to where it becomes just a super league where a lot of people are that's some of the like knockoffs with Nick Saban. A lot of people think that he would only be a believer of the SEC, but a lot of people don't remember that he started off small. He coached in the MAC. He coached at Toledo. He coached at Navy. His first coaching job, and he played at Kent State. He coached at Kent State. So I think if anybody would like care for a little guy, I think it'd be Nick Saban, because he paid his dues before he got to and then before when he was at Toledo, then he went to Michigan State, went to the Big Ten, and then when he had success in the NFL. So like, I mean, I think and Nick Saban is probably one of the most decorated college football coaches ever, honestly. So I think that he would be a good fit for this role.
Mhm. And then you got somebody like Cody Campbell who manages like one of the biggest NILs in the country with Texas Tech. I mean,
And he also played too for Texas Tech. So
so yeah, he knows about like Texas Tech because Texas Tech isn't like a traditional powerhouse. Like their name is like they have a decent brand, but they're not like the big brands. So this could be good, but it just comes down to like what's like the actual goals are for these guys and whatnot, and what like the actual goals of like this committee or say is.
yeah, and I'm sure that within the next month or so, or in the next coming months, we're gonna see and have more details about like what is gonna entail of this. So But yeah, do you have anything else? Because I really like these are like the main things I wanted to talk about. But like,
Mhm.
I don't really have anything else unless you had
Um,
something else that you wanted to share. Because I
I, th-
don't. Those are the
I,
main things I
yeah, I think
had.
we talked about this off the show, but yesterday there was a settlement that's hanging in the balance relating to media revenue and whatnot, and like paying the
Oh
athletes.
yeah, yeah. Elaborate more on that.
Yeah, so I have the CBS Brandon
Yeah,
Marcelo reported this yesterday where like they have like 2.8 billion house NCAA settlement hangs in the balance, and this is like concerning like roster limits and how much like is going towards like the athletes, whatever. So saying here, so attorneys like so basically, this is concerning because certain like conferences gonna know like the Big 12, for example, has like a cap of like what 20 some $million
yeah.
per school, and then like the Big 10, the SEC are gonna have like 35 to 40, somewhere in that ballpark, and also like kind of like a roster limits as well. Would be implemented for the next year, so I think this just yeah, I mean, it says here like schools will be allowed but not required to reinstate players who were cut from rosters during the academic year 2024-25, and then having those roster limits implemented July 1st. So it looks like they are gonna like so these roster limits are gonna like be taking effect July 1st, so in the middle of summer camp.
Oh, okay. So it looked like Iowa and Iowa State were being proactive instead of reactive. Because we saw a lot of the players hit the portal big about a few weeks ago. I don't know if you
Yeah,
remember that mass exodus of players that left. But yeah, so that's good. Because I wasn't sure. I'm like, well, now that we sort of have like a accurate like timeline on that, that's going to be interesting. That's now we know it's going to be right before the season, and
yeah.
now right probably right before fall camp starts. So
Yeah, I mean, even says it here, even before the judge's final approval, schools began to cut players to prepare for the implementation on July 1st.
right.
So that's what you saw there. So yeah, under the preliminary settlement released in October, yeah, football was set to be shrunk to 105. And yeah, this is just like, yeah, so this is like some of the context that goes into like this whole lawsuit that was filed by Arizona State swimmer and former women's college basketball players at a print seeking lifting restrictions on revenue sharing and media rights revenues. And see here, just talking about like in the events of a decision and whatnot. So there's still a lot that's going on like behind the scenes when it comes to college athletics and just like the wild west that college football is.
Well, hopefully that this means that we're coming to a state of stability. Because I know it just seems like a lot of my friends who I like tailgate with and stuff, and people and just talking to other Big 12 fans and other college football fans in general that they were just starting to get like exhausted with all this NIL stuff. Not like being against players getting paid, but just the trend. But like one of the things for me that like sort of like grinds my gears, bro, is just the timing of the transfer portal because it opens right before the playoff starts and then you
Yep.
don't stay with your team when you're in the middle of trying to win a championship. Like that's sort of
Right.
bogus. And
Yeah.
then for basketball, it opens right before March Madness, and you're like, that makes no sense. Or no, sorry, after March Madness. My bad.
I thought it's like when it started. Like I saw people entering the portal like during like March Madness.
Right, yeah, sorry, it was during March
It
Madness.
was like
Yeah,
the
my
first weekend, I
mistake.
believe. It was after the first weekend.
Yeah, it makes no sense. They have to change those to like after the season.
Yeah, because well, with football, it's a little difficult considering like the playoffs happen during winter break.
Right.
So that could be like something like that would have to be like I guess like you would have to do it where like if you're playing on a team that is in the college football playoff, then no,
Yeah.
this would be like two hampered where like you aren't allowed to enter the portal until after your team's last game. I feel like that should make sense
Yeah.
for a lot of teams. Like you can't enter the portal until your team specifically has played their last like game. So that means even if you're playing in the national championship, you cannot enter the portal until after that. Now you can obviously have plans to enter it, but like you can't officially like enter or something like that. I don't know. Maybe that's just like oversight, but it makes sense to me. It's like, well, you're in the national championship, so why in the world are you like? We get why, but it's like don't actually enter like you can't enter until like at least your team has finished playing their last game.
Right, right.
So
And there was one thing that I wanted to show you that I think you're going to be really, really happy about. CBS Sports put out their bowl projections, their way too early bowl projections for next year, and I think you're going to like where Iowa State is set up. I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to show you the possible places to where they think Iowa State's going to be. So, and look at this. This is going to be what they have as a college football playoff. Rose Bowl. They have Ohio State versus the 8-9 winner. Number and the Sugar Bowl. They have number 2 Texas against the 7-10 winner. The Orange Bowl in Miami. Number 3 Clemson versus the 6-11 winner. And number coming in at number 4, the Iowa State Cyclones playing in Arlington. And this would be Arlington for a second time against the 5-12 order. Man, like this is crazy. Like it's awesome. Iowa State, like they have Iowa State winning the Big 12. And then I saw like we talked about the way too early top 25 rankings. ESPN actually gave us more respect than On Three did. ESPN has us at number 14 after post spring ranking. So if you look at that article, like they have was it Arizona State or BYU at number 10, Arizona State at number 12, and Iowa State at 14. So 3 teams in the top 15. And we talked about that a few shows ago. So I mean, ESPN showing a lot of respect for the Cyclones.
yeah, and I mean those are three like you mentioned BYU, Arizona State, Iowa State. All three of those teams were basically like along with Colorado, they were like the top dogs in the conference. I mean,
Right,
BYU was like what 9-0 prior to like they were 9-0. They were looking like a shoe in for Arlington before Big 12 chaos hit the fan, i.e., Kansas.
right.
I mean, and even after we experienced Kansas, we still managed to rattle off what was it, 3 straight wins to go to Arlington, and then Arizona State ran like they were the surprise darling of the Big 12 from last to winning the whole thing. It makes sense like to have those threes, but I think what like that could be key losses for Iowa State. I think a lot of people maybe like docking them for is like the loss of Jalen Nolan, Jaden Higgins, who Iowa State they did rely a lot on those two wide
Hmm.
receivers. So I think some people are thinking how like the questions are going to be how is Iowa State going to replace the production that Jalen and Jaden had for Iowa State.
I don't know. I think we're asking the wrong question. I actually think the offense will be fine because even with like I think the fact that we talked about um Rocco and X already having that rapport even from playing as kids together,
Hmm.
and then Chase Soul just being that guy who can basically catches everything.
Yeah,
I think what we should be asking is, can the defense get pressure on the quarterback? I think that's going to be a key to the season.
yeah,
And another thing that's going to be a key to the season, man, is run defense. The run, I mean, obviously, like we had a lot of linebacker injuries, but that run defense was horrid.
hmm,
So I think those are going to be the two keys to this. I think those are the two questions that
yeah,
we should be asking going into the season.
yeah.
For me,
And yeah, and hopefully with the like return of like basically the entire linebacking group
right?
after being injured or whatnot, I think that should help our run defense and then getting some pressure too because now we can run like more stunts with like our bigger and
Yeah.
stronger players, more experienced players too. So I think that'll help. And I mean, even then, I think we saw develop like I think with some of the guys we had to play, they did their job. They came
Oh
in
yeah.
prepared to play. So the fact that we even like we ended 11-3 with the bowl win, even with a basically a defense that was held together by duct tape and gorilla glue, I think that just shows like that shows like the floor that like the defense had even with all those injuries. So you get like all your you get your healthy linebackers. You get a healthy, fully healthy defense with the offense that we had last year, something similar to it. Iowa State would likely be gunning for a playoff spot and winning the
Yeah.
conference.
And a much healthier team, but a much tougher schedule. We were beneficiaries of a very a lot of people say with easier schedule. So we'll see how this team fared. I think this team has a heart of a champion. They're a game away. They know they want to win. They want to bring a conference championship to the school. They want to make a playoff. So I mean, let's see what this team has. I think they have it. Let's see what they got. And of course, we cannot forget about our sponsor, MyBookie.
Yep. Let's see. Yeah, so my bookie, hockey playoffs are like ramping up. The NBA playoffs. If you had money on the New York Knicks these past two games, you were winning big.
Oh yeah, or the Indiana Pacers.
Oh yeah, no, you were definitely sweating those two like the entire like series thus far. But man, you were definitely a happy better after like the results you saw. I mean, Halliburton hitting that game winning three off the offensive rebound, and then Jalen Brunson continuing to be a dagger in the hearts of the Boston Celtics. Do you think like I wonder if you trust yourselves to continue to bet like for both the Pacers and the Knicks as they get home court advantage this time around, or do we see what we saw and the road teams like continue to win?
We'll have to see. Obviously, and you get to decide this. And here's how you do it. You put in you mentioned the Believe in Iowa State podcast when you sign up, and you put in the promo code MM50. That is MM50. And obviously, if you believe in the Knicks and you believe in the
The
Pacers,
Pacers. Yep.
man, like you can go and make yourself some money. Make if you know ball, you can go and make yourself some money with my bookie. So thank you for being a sponsor, my bookie. But man, we got to talk about Tyrese Halliburton to end the show, bro, because he is just on another level. Ever since his dad got banned from the core, he went he's gone beast mode, bro. That step back three, that was sick, bro.
Yeah. Dude, there's a whole compilation on Twitter that says every Tyree shot from Tyrese Halliburton to tie or take the lead in the last 2 minutes this season. You want to guess like what his percentage is in those shots?
Probably like what, like 70 or 80%.
Try 90%.
Wait, it's 90%.
He's 10 of 11 on the year.
Holy crap!
Yeah. Um I mean oh god. Wait. Okay, so this is from Tyrese Halliburton's Instagram the other day after that. This is funny. Uh, Bro,
That
Tyrese is a
was
fool.
great.
Oh, he's a fool for that. And speaking of like talking about these nuts, like not even the meme. y- this photo right here.
Bro is wildin', man.
Oh wait,
Yo.
yeah. You want to know what's? Oh, hold on. Okay, well, hold on. You know what's funny about this? You know what's funny
Okay.
about that celebration?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Donovan Jackson. Hold on, let me see. I knew Brent Blum put it on his Twitter yesterday. Let me see. But I mean, oh, god damn it. God. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, I guess I gotta search up Brent.
So
Don't.
yeah, go to Bloom's page.
Yeah. So yeah, Brent Bloom talked about some Williams and Bloom yesterday, and then as reference, Donovan Jackson. Like, fuck Allen. Oh, when I saw that celebration of Halliburton, I'm like, I thought of Donovan Jackson instantly, and then I just had to be a little petty. I fear no man. I don't
Okay,
know.
I think as a troll in the NBA, I think Halliburton has passed George Niang, dude. I
Oh,
think I think after these performances and after the man and then that Instagram put, oh yeah, he's a master troller and I love it.
yeah.
Oh
Oh my
man, that
dude.
is
And then like
great.
obviously when that shot went down, Iowa State Twitter was going all over the place, and one of the first comparisons that well, I think I'll let the GIF speak for itself here. This is from Iowa State Nation. Love his content, but yeah.
I love that.
I love it. I love that GIF so much. Like now from Rocco Beck to Halliburton, like who's next?
Man, I can't wait for more magical moments in the playoffs. Watching this Pacers run is absolutely great.
You know what's gonna be nuts if the Pacers and the Knicks match up
In the
again.
Eastern Conference Finals,
Knock
please
on
let
wood.
it happen.
Knock on wood. But dear God, the
Because wasn't that
toxicity between Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton.
because wasn't
But
that a 7 game series last year
let me see.
or
Yeah,
a six?
Pace.
I thought it was 6 or 7.
I think it might
I
have been
don't remember.
7.
That's what I thought.
Let me go take a look here. 20, nope, that's wrong season. That's current season. Yeah, I just remember watching that series as a whole, and I was like, "What is going?" Playoffs. No, it was a 7 game series.
Yeah. So like I want to see I want to see them again. And Boston is literally shooting themselves out of this series. I don't understand like why you keep shooting threes if you can't make them. Like
Yeah.
it makes no sense.
Hold on. Where's the iconic? Oh God. There's the photo from yesterday that I saw on Twitter, where it's just like I think it was like was it? Oh, it was Friday beers. Hold on, dude. Do you just follow like these random like college pages like Friday beers and like they have like some
Hmm.
like the pop culture whatever. I saw the NBA one. I was like, that is actually a thing of beauty. Like that the photo. Like, hold on, because I mean, okay, let's see here. I know I'm rambling, but this photo right here. This is a thing of beauty.
Oh,
Look
I
at that
love
defense,
that.
dude. Look at that
I love
defense from
that, man.
was that Miles Bridges and OG Ananobi. And speaking of OG Ananobi, I've been on Twitter and yeah, let's just say that for some reason he got the Jordan Poole effect. He got Jordan Poole was drinking, and he decided, all right, when the Huzz are at courtside, I gotta ball out. So first, it was Anne Hathaway, who was a very attractive actor. And then you get Olympic gold medalist Sidney Lee at courtside as well for the Knicks games. And bro was pulling out threes. He was pulling out 360 dunks. He was looking like prime MJ. So I won't be surprised if those two are at Knicks games now. And OG Ananobi decides to just go off like he's prime Michael Jordan.
He sees the honeys in attendance, man. He trying to pull, bro.
Okay, wait. Let's see if I can find this one. Oh god, I remember watching the one after Sunny Lee was a courtside. It was hilarious. I just gotta find the correct photo of it because I knew boy was. Oh, yep. Oh, wait, hold on. Come on. All right, here it is. It's blurry, but I mean, let's see
Oh
here.
yeah, yep.
Yeah, this one. look
Yep.
at look at my boy. Look at bro.
Yeah,
Look at
bro. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
bro locked in. He locked
Oh yeah.
in.
He locked in for sure. Yeah, he's locked in, bro.
I have a tweet saved that it's just like a highlight reel of like a Busta Rhymes Mariah Carey song. I gotta send that to you in the DMs, but like
Baby, if you give it to me, I'll give it
yes,
to
that one.
that
Yeah, yeah.
one. All right.
Ah,
Well, this was a fun episode, man.
mhm.
Thank you guys for joining us at the Bleav in Iowa State podcast. A few things before we go. We are a top 15 sports podcast in the state of Iowa, nominated by FeedSpot. So thank you guys for joining us on the Bleav in Iowa State podcast. Thank you, FeedSpot. Thank you, State of Iowa listeners. Thank you, everybody who listens. Also, if you want to find us on Twitter, Cody can be found on Twitter at Matt Campbell Impersonator. He's an elite a meme fiend.
Yeah,
That's what I call him now, meme fiend
basically,
Cody.
basically.
And all of his Braves takes. And then if to find me, I can be found at Sci Tie Guy. I am now very, very excited after the trade that the Cowboys pulled off of George Pickens. I know he's a crush, so he's a team cancer. But if he contributes and Dak puts him in line, and it could be a pretty good season for Dallas. But we'll
It's
see.
something about Jerry Jones and getting guys with questionable character issues.
That's the Jerry Jones way, man. That's
He's like,
Jerry
I don't
Jones
care if
there.
you have a character issue, as long as you can play ball, you're on.
Exactly. And lastly, make sure you follow us on social media. We are on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, and also on Twitch now. We also have a Twitch page. It's under my guy 2019, but I will be officially changing that to Bleav in Iowa State. So we will also be on Twitch. So find us on Twitch as well. So for Tyler Carter,
And for Cody Van Steele,
this is the Bleav in Iowa State podcast. Roll clones, baby.
let's go state.